Put a little bit of the rub, nigga, I gotta be safe.
Let's get to sports talk.
Bucks. They will be in Indiana on Saturday to take on their old teammate, Malcolm Brogdon. He is, of course, with the Pacers now. Here's what Giannis had to say about Brogdon. This is really interesting. Quote, "Can you imagine this team with also Malcolm? Definitely wish he was still here." I can imagine this team with Malcolm, because it worked so well last year. Do you think that the Bucks are missing Brogdon right now, Perk?
Yes, I do. And although Drew Bledsoe is playing extremely well now, Eric Bledsoe, excuse me.
That was a Boston slip-up. All the Celtics fans, all the Celtics fans were like, he should have called him that. Anyway.
My bad. They are missing Brogdon. And I thought about this in the offseason. I was like, this guy was the rookie of the year. He was 90, 40, 50. He was a huge part. He was the third option right behind Giannis and Chris Middleton. And I thought they just let him walk away. And right now, he possibly could make the All-Star game this year. He's playing at a high level right now for the Indiana Pacers, and he's the reason why the Pacers are, one of the main reasons why they're still in the mix of things in the East until Oladipo get back. And I'm with Giannis on this one. They took him for granted.
They did. They took him for granted. You don't let a solid point guard go. When you got a third option that could give you buckets and could get players open, and he one of the key guys, and y'all let him walk out the door? You say y'all took care of Chris Middleton? Why y'all ain't take care of Brogdon? Why would y'all let him leave Milwaukee? You see, Chris Middleton went down. Even though you got Giannis, you still need other guys to step up. If y'all still have Brogdon, he would have stepped up every night. Don't get me wrong. Eric Bledsoe having a good year. But you don't let that guard go. Now here in Indiana, possibility could make his first All-Star. He living up to the money they gave him. That's why Indiana paid him, because that was exactly what they was going to get. A solid player that's going to come in ready to play. And look what he's doing. He had a good year so far with Indiana.
And the question is, could this affect Giannis' return in free agency?
Well, anything Giannis says about team moves, you pay really close attention to. Let me offer a little bit of balance here. They did re-sign 4 free agents, spent a ton of money. Bledsoe, George Hill, Brook Lopez, and obviously Chris Middleton. They spent hundreds of millions replaying that team. And had they re-signed Brogdon for that number, which they could have, they had his rights, they'd be heavily in the luxury tax, which would affect them going forward. Plus, they got 2 second-round picks in the future for...
I would have took the luxury tax. Keeping part with this solid, good team Milwaukee got still, with Brogdon, to go along with that team, they could make it to the final still. But I'm saying with him, they'll be a big contender right there. They still a contender because they still got Chris Middleton and Giannis. With Brogdon go along with Bledsoe, Lopez, and a lot of players they have, I would have took that opportunity of going to luxury tax. I'm not letting a good player walk out the door. And look what he doing for the other team. That's y'all gonna play, and that's the Pacers.
For trading Brogdon, which they potentially can use to improve their team later. So I want to just point that other side of the ledger. But obviously, if you look at the way he's playing in Indiana, where he's been their best player so far, you think about him being on a championship and what it means.
But I understand the other side of the ledger. But wouldn't you want to keep your superstar and MVP happy?
Do you know what money can't buy? Do you know what all the money in the world, all that luxury tax money, all saving all that money for yourself can't buy? It cannot buy another Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Absolutely.
Here's what I would say.
If it's between keeping Giannis or not, I would spend the money.
Here's what I would say. Had they re-signed him, was Giannis ready to say, "Oh yes, I will extend right now"?
I don't think he would have to. That doesn't have to be the standard. Do you know what has to happen when you reach that level of your career? And I know this because
you gotta get what Perkins saying. You don't let that caliber player go. He holding it down until Victor get back. And he doing a good job at it. I think he averaged like 20 points for them. He been their best player so far. Now imagine when Victor Oladipo come back. With him on the team. They know they got a good number 2 option in Brogdon to go along with Victor. But you got to keep your superstar happy. Don't get me wrong, he happy right now, but deep down, he ain't want Brogdon to leave. It's up to the front office to keep that tight player right along what you have. You see how far y'all got into the playoffs? Y'all still can, but imagine y'all still had him to go along with Giannis and Chris Middleton. Now, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing when they paid him in Indiana. He made the All-Star game. They're going to say a lot of things about Milwaukee. You don't let that caliber player leave. And that's what I get what Perkins saying. Do you want to keep him happy?
I've read the CBA, and it tells the number of years a guy has to stay locked into the team that drafted him. They have to keep his rights. So I know that when you hit that level that Giannis is about to hit, he gets to decide, and you have to audition for him, right? So you keep the guys that he likes. And I agree with you that they did get some trade assets in return, and kind of an almost bizarre old school deal with the Pacers that you and I have talked about a lot, right? That they didn't just let him go as a restricted free agent, or the Pacers didn't try to sign him to an offer sheet. They actually gave him something back for him. That being said, they better use those assets to improve that team.
I'm just saying the book on that transaction hasn't closed.
Well,
I agree.
Rachel, I'm changing your name today to Rachel Jakes because you're speaking the gospel right now.
Because it's true. You keep a player that your superstar like. He like Brogdon. You take that risk and go to a luxury tax. And keep that solid team together. He was like the glue to that team, just like Giannis and Chris Middleton. Now that half of that glue is gone. You see when Chris Middleton go down, who you gonna go to? Eric Bledsoe, he having a solid year, but sometimes he up and down on offense. Defense, he's a good defender. That's what everybody's saying. Like, who is that third guy with Chris Middleton out? Like now, who can be that second and third guy for Giannis? You keep a player that your superstar like.
Just saying.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe.